my God, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. I have to sit down again.
She was put in front of a judge and given a guardian.
This week has been a turbulent one for veteran radio and talk show host Wendy Williams, as several reports suggest that the screen diva is in one trouble or the other. First, it was reported that she was seeking help at an undisclosed mental facility. Then, later, news made the rounds that she was broke and in dire need of financial help. Fortunately, the screen diva has spoken about her financial situation, and this has sent shockwaves through her fandom. What did the 59-year-old say? And how is it affecting her reputation in the media?
Making it seem like everything is okay always.
Wendy, make sure you look here. 1, 2, 3.
But in reality, there's something wrong going on.
Wendy Williams is set to release a documentary detailing her battles since she was a kid. The documentary, titled Where is Wendy Williams, is set to premiere later this month, and it features interviews with Wendy's inner circle of friends and relatives. In one of the segments of the trailer, which was released on February 1st, the talk show host gave a sneak peek of her financial situation, and it made a few fans teary. In her own words, "I have no money, and let me tell you something, if it happens to me, it can happen to you," Williams stated as she looked into the camera. Though the trailer doesn't say the cause of her financial woes, some scenes suggest that she spent her money on health. A string of montages showcases the actress battling some unknown sickness and struggling to stand up. Another scene also depicts the talk show host being wheeled around in a health facility. So it seems legit to suggest that the actress had spent her money on her treatment. However, some fans also surmise that Williams may have spent her money on substances. The talk show host herself admitted in the trailer, via a voiceover, that she spent a good decade of her life using illicit substances. Many fans pointed out that the substance in question was expensive. Thus, it could easily be the source of her financial woes.
And away we go.
Love you, Wendy.
All I know is how to be famous. I really want to be back on television.
You're gonna be back on TV. That's easy.
Interestingly, this isn't the first time Wendy Williams is in the news for going broke. Last year, the celebrated radio personality had a lengthy legal battle with her bank, which denied her access to her own funds. According to reports, Wendy placed a simple request to the bank for her financial statement because she suspected misconduct on the part of her financial advisors. As part of her request, Wendy indicated that she wanted to switch banks because she didn't trust her current bank. This simple request generated a firestorm as the bank refused and instead requested guardianship, claiming that Wendy was an incapacitated person. The bank also stated that she was a victim of undue influence and financial exploitation. Curiously, the courts agreed with the bank and placed Wendy under temporary financial guardianship, which meant that she could only access her money if the court approved her request. Later in June, a judge ruled in favor of the bank, and she was placed under another temporary financial guardianship until July. Speaking to The Hollywood Reporter, a lawyer for Wendy Williams, LaShawn Thomas, said, "Wendy doesn't agree with a financial guardian being appointed. If it's the court's intention to have one appointed over her affairs for the long haul, she definitely isn't going to accept that." Wendy accused her financial advisor of lying that she was not mentally fit to handle her own money. She claimed that her bank's move to put her under financial guardianship could leave her defaulting on some of the bills she had to pay. She asserted that she had the mental capacity to dispense her own money as she deemed fit and prayed the court to allow her to do that. In an affidavit to a New York court, Wendy accused her bank of denying her access to her account despite her decision to terminate the financial advisor. She stated, "As a result of her improper conduct in relation to my accounts, Wells Fargo continues to deny me access to my financial assets and statements." In a twist of events, Wendy's former manager, Bernie Young, volunteered to be placed as the financial guardian over her finances. Last year, Wendy fired Bernie Young and her entire management team for mismanaging her finances. However, Bernie Young's new move means that the court could grant him control over Wendy's finances, believing that he was acting in the best interest of the television personality. But Wendy was having none of that. She had Bernie fired earlier on for mismanaging her funds and now didn't want him to be placed as her financial guardian. Thus, the TV host took to social media to pour out fresh allegations against her former manager. According to Wendy, Bernie used her $10,000 to hire a lawyer to fight for him to be placed as her financial guardian. Interestingly, Wendy's son, Kevin Hunter Jr., holds power of attorney over his mother, which allows him to act on behalf of his mother. However, sources indicate that Kevin hasn't made any move to place himself as his mother's financial guardian. According to sources, Kevin believes that his mother is in the right frame of mind to make smart financial decisions funds without anyone's intervention. So many fans are left wondering why Bernie Young is bent on putting himself in charge of Wendy's finances. Some fans suspect that Bernie must have truly mismanaged Wendy's funds, as is afraid of being found out if Wendy gets hold of her bank statements. Others feel that Bernie might be benefiting from Wendy's misfortune and would want to continue enjoying it. Interestingly, in 2020, Wells Fargo had to pay about $3 billion in settlement to customers after it was discovered that the bank had fraudulently opened millions of savings and checking accounts without the consent of their customers. So given this background, a few fans are skeptical about the bank's decision to not allow Wendy Williams access to her own funds. After all, a bank that has been involved in shady dealings a few years ago can't be trusted to safely oversee anyone's finances. Moreover, Wendy Williams assured the general public that she was of a sound mind and asked her fans to disregard reports claiming she lacked the competency to manage her money. She told The Hollywood Reporter, "When people want control of your accounts, they say anything, including something crazy like that about me." Thus, some fans felt that raising their voices for their star would help her retrieve her frozen funds in Wells Fargo. One such wrote, "Let's make a petition to help Wendy to get access to her accounts and funds with Wells Fargo. We helped Britney, we can help Wendy. Wendy sounds well enough to at least have access to her funds." Others believe that Wells Fargo was being dishonest in its dealings and was taking advantage of the situation for its own benefit. One fan commented, "Wells Fargo is disgusting. To stand behind an employee who is dishonest and using Wendy's medical records against her knowledge is not only criminal, but also disgusting. How can an organization stand behind that? Shame on Lori, what a low life. Not all thieves work on the streets, some wear suits." Some fans felt sorry for Wendy as her team betrayed her. They questioned the rationale behind Bernie Young keeping Wendy from accessing her own money. Damn, if Bernie keeping the money away from Wendy, then I'm really starting to question this situation. Wendy always spoke so highly of Bernie. A doctor can't just send medical records, that's a violation. So what's going on, Wendy? Many fans backed Wendy's claim that she was in the right mental state to manage her own finances. They wrote, "Even if she was sick, she certainly has the reasoning to see a coup between the bank and former manager. Why would she fire the former manager without cause? And what is most puzzling is what legal rights does the former manager have to be her legal guardian? It is clear something is wrong here. Her instincts are spot on." Others sympathized with the former radio personality as the people she trusted the most with her finances conspired to betray her. They felt that Wendy Williams deserved better. One fan shared their opinion. "The saddest part of betrayal is that it never comes from your enemies. Unknown. Stay strong, Wendy. For now, nothing concrete has been decided, and with the courts appearing to side with Bernie, according to sources, fans may not get to know his true intentions. Meanwhile, Wendy Williams had relocated from New York to Florida for unknown reasons, with many tabloids speculating health reasons, and they may be right. Some people, including Wendy's son Kevin, feel that the media personality has given her all to the media space and deserves a quieter place where she could rest and recuperate. According to reports, Wendy is suffering from Graves' disease and other thyroid issues, which is preventing her from living and working normally. Last year, her son expressed worry over her mom's health issue in an interview with The Sun, claiming that the people around her were trying to take advantage of her. Radio host Miss Jones was one of the first people to report that Wendy Williams had relocated. Speaking to her fans, Miss Jones claimed that she paid a visit to Wendy's home in New York, only to be told that she had moved months ago. Some tabloids reported that the talk show host was filming a new reality series centered around her life. This is because Wendy Williams was spotted filming a few series at her childhood home in Ashbury Park, New Jersey. According to the reports, the reality series was going to give fans full access to the private life of the media personality, including her struggles and health issues that had never been seen before. Though Wendy had opened up extensively about her life in her books, especially her 2003 autobiography, the new reality series was expected to be the most intimate and candid project in her storied career. However, other fans and conspiracy theorists also have their own version of events and reasons why the talk show host relocated. According to them, Wendy was trying to get away from P. Diddy. Now, these two have had a fractious relationship, with Wendy the more vocal and aggressive of the two. According to the conspiracy theorists, Wendy had accused the rapper of being a closeted gay, an accusation which Diddy didn't take lightly. In 1998, Wendy Williams on her radio program insinuated that Diddy, then known as Puff Daddy, was gay. According to fans, Diddy got Wendy fired from the radio station as a result. However, Wendy Williams claimed that Diddy sent his all-girl group to teach her a lesson at the radio station. "I got off the air one day, them total girls were downstairs, and everybody upstairs at the radio station was looking down, egging it on, waiting for something to go down. Fortunately for her, her boyfriend at the time prevented them from creating a scene, but that didn't stop the rapper and entrepreneur from pursuing her. A few years later, Wendy claimed that she had a picture of Diddy with a man pulling his shots. According to Gene Deal, the former bodyguard of P. Diddy, that singular act got Wendy fired from the radio station. The power Diddy had with the radio stations in New York, people didn't breathe hard if he didn't want them to. Diddy got one of the hottest DJs off Hot 97 because she wanted to put up a picture of him getting his pants pulled down. He told Hot 97 if they didn't get rid of her before he got back in New York, that they was not going to get any music from any of his friends, any of the record label executives that were cool with him. Everyone was going to boycott their station. He continued, "We was out in LA for about 3 days. Before we landed back in New York, Wendy Williams was in the radio station in Philly. It was over for her. She was fired." That incident started 2 decades of feud between Wendy and Diddy, with the radio host constantly suggesting that Diddy was gay while Diddy was bent on chasing Wendy out of New York. Wendy herself recounted the incident when she sat for an interview with DJ Vlad in 2013. While discussing homophobia in hip-hop, she explained that she was burned at the stake for discussing the subject. However, Wendy Williams' most significant revelation was in 2015 when she discussed Diddy's controlling behavior toward Cassie Ventura during the couple's temporary split. On her show, Wendy explained the difficulty of dating a business mogul who had a lot of cash to spare. She claimed that the mogul could do whatever he pleased and pay people off to shut up. "My thing about when you date a mogul, it's a really difficult thing to avoid them because if you use your head, you never know when they'll pop up on the scene. He can hire a plane right now, land on the roof of the hotel she's staying, pay people off at the front desk, give me a key, and let me up in her room." In 2018, Williams once again insinuated that Diddy was controlling Cassie when it was announced that the couple had split again. She blasted Diddy's attempt to win Cassie back through a social media post instead of privately reaching out to her. She said, "I suggest don't use social media though to reach out. This was a grand overture from Diddy. I don't believe he really wants her or wants her back. I believe he probably treated her at some particular point like a possession. If you really care, then you'd reach out privately, not publicly." At the time, people found it difficult to believe the talk show host, as she presented no evidence to back up her claims. Many of Diddy's fans accused her of being a hater who only concerned herself with painting their idol black in the eyes of the general public. However, the media personality was exonerated when Cassie sued Diddy for physical and emotional abuse. According to Cassie, Diddy would let her sleep with some random men when he sat and enjoyed the show. She also claimed that the rapper would control her every move, including how to cut her hair, what she should wear, and what she could say in public. She accused Diddy of assaulting her whenever she stood against his wishes, which resulted in personal injuries. Though Cassie didn't publicly state the compensation she was seeking, many fans believe it was in the millions. As expected, Diddy denied all the accusations and swore to fight the issue in court till his image was wiped clean. However, in a swift U-turn, the rapper settled with Cassie a day after she filed the suit. Though the terms of the settlement weren't made public, it was speculated to be in the millions. So, some fans believe that Diddy might finally have succeeded in getting Wendy Williams to run out of New York. However, this version of events is difficult to believe, given the fact that Diddy and Williams quashed their beef recently on her show. As part of his promotional tour for his new documentary, Can't Stop, Won't Stop, P. Diddy made a stopover at Williams' show. Wendy started by acknowledging that she said stuff that might have pissed a lot of people off, including him, P. Diddy. However, she's grown and come full circle. Diddy explained that as African-American men and women, they needed to support each other and tell a story that had a good ending. Unfortunately for Diddy, his story might not have the ending that he wished for, as a couple of women have come forward with a string of damning allegations against him. The women, empowered by Williams' revelation and Cassie's boldness, took advantage of New York's Adult Survivor Act. This act allowed women who had survived assault back in the 80s and 90s to sue the perpetrators. One such woman was Joy Dickerson. According to her, P. Diddy forced himself on her when she was a student at Syracuse University in 1991. Filing her case in New York, Joy Dickerson recalled that the rapper invited her to a restaurant in Harlem where he put something in her drink. After their time at the restaurant, the business mogul brought her home and forced her into sleeping with him. He then went ahead to film the whole incident and showed it to his friends, who had a good laugh. Dickerson became depressed after the whole incident and had to check herself into a health facility to avoid worsening the situation. She had to drop out of college due to the incident, as she found it difficult to concentrate on her studies owing to the humiliation Diddy put her through. Dickerson's lawsuit had barely seen seen the light of day when another unnamed victim stepped forward to sue the Bad Boy Records executive. The unnamed woman, who was referred to in the lawsuit as Jane Doe, claimed that she and her friend were assaulted by Diddy and R&B singer Aaron Hall in the 1990s. According to Jane Doe, she and her unnamed friend met the two celebrities at a musical event and struck up a conversation. Later, they followed the celebrities to their Hall's home, where the barbaric incident took place. When they arrived at Hall's apartment, Jane Doe followed Diddy to one of the rooms while her friend went with Aaron Hall. According to the filing, Diddy forcibly slept with Jane Doe even though she protested. When Diddy was done and she was getting dressed, Aaron Hall barged into her room and slept with her too. Later, she discovered that her friend too was assaulted by Aaron Hall. And when he was done with his dirty business, Diddy came in and did the same thing to her. Both ladies reportedly felt shame and depressed as they recounted the incident to each other. The suit further stated that Diddy showed up at the home of both ladies and cautioned them not to breathe a word of what went on to any soul. He then ended up choking Jane Doe till she passed out and left her on the floor, holding on for her dear life. A few weeks after the lawsuit, another unidentified woman also brought up a lawsuit against the mogul, accusing him of R when she was underage. According to the woman, she was in 11th grade when she met Harve Pierre at a lounge in Detroit. Pierre, who was then the president of Bad Boy Entertainment, flew her to New York City where she met Diddy and a few of his crew members in the studio. The suit continues that Diddy and his entourage offered her drinks till she couldn't control herself any longer. When they realized she couldn't give her consent to anything, Diddy and his friend took in turns in sleeping with the young lady. The lady was then left on the floor of the studio's bathroom in a fetal position. Included in the lawsuit were photographs of the lady sitting on Diddy's laps, which she calumniated were taken on the day that she was assaulted in Diddy's studio in New York. However, the Bad Boy executive has denied all the accusations, claiming that they were all calculated attempts by some women for a quick payday. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth. However, fans weren't buying any of Diddy's explanations. Many compared him to R. Kelly's initial statements when he was first accused of having his way with women without their consent. One fan wrote, "Diddy said he denies the charges, he didn't do it, and he's fighting for his name and his life. Lol." Same exact words R. Kelly used. Others also recounted the vibes they felt when they first encountered the music mogul. One fan commented, "I met him in NYC in 1999 or 2000, and he was extremely off-putting. He was with Jennifer Lopez, and she looked bothered by how he was staring at all the young people in the crowd. It was very strange. I remember saying that I would never want to be around him again." Other commenters declared him guilty, even though the court has yet to rule in favor or against P. Diddy. I'm not sorry to admit that I'm inclined to believe that this happened. He's gonna have a huge battle. I have brothers, so I can say that sometimes women make up stories, but tell me who you hang with, and I'll tell you who you are. Then there were those who tore into Diddy for his alleged past indiscretions. One wrote, Diddy, you don't have any character. Your reputation is bad. And as for your legacy, well, you won't have one after you settle another 3 or more lawsuits and spend a lengthy time in prison." Meanwhile, fans have given Wendy Williams her flowers. After all that she said about the rap mogul appeared to be true. On her claims that Diddy was gay, 50 Cent recently made a statement that appeared to corroborate Wendy's assertions. While on tour in Europe, 50 Cent insinuated that Diddy was gay when he told the crowd the reason he doesn't attend Diddy's exclusive all-white parties. According to the rapper, Diddy was in the business of hugging men from the front and the back, which he found extremely uncomfortable. "That's why I don't be going to them puffy parties." He hug you from the front and the back at the same time? F you talking about? Look, if you into that, you into that. I'm fine with it. To each his own. I'm just saying this ain't my kind of party. It's uncomfortable. I think I belong in the girls' bathroom when S like that is going on. Interestingly, 50 isn't the only person to allude to Diddy's singer Jaguar Wright. Also claimed that her lawyer, who used to work with Bad Boy Entertainment, once met Diddy getting fellatio from Christopher Williams. According to the lawyer, she had gone to Diddy's office to get some papers signed, but on reaching the office, she discovered that the door was unlocked. She made her way into the room only to see Christopher Williams kneeling between Diddy's legs. Later, Diddy confronted the lawyer and asked her what she'd seen in the office. The lawyer fought back, inquiring why the music executive didn't lock his office door. Diddy then retorted that he owned the building and could choose to do whatever he wanted in any part of the building, and nobody can question that. Diddy reportedly claimed that he had money and power and could get anyone to do his bidding. The music executive then warned the lawyer not to tell a soul about what she witnessed in the office. However, unsatisfied with the caution, Diddy pursued the lawyer until she left New York to work for Jaguar Wright. Thus, many people believe that Diddy has done the same to Wendy Williams, although the pair had publicly quashed their. Some fans believe that all the lawsuits and the embarrassment the music mogul is facing right now are due to Wendy Williams' revelations years ago. So he's paying her back by hounding her out of New York. For now, nothing concrete has been established as to why Wendy Williams relocated, but hopefully it is for health reasons and not for the reasons outlined by the conspiracy theorists. And this brings down the curtains on today's video. Thanks for watching.